They were sleeping on the floor.
Caseworker Terry Nelson told us last December she took this cell phone video of foster kids sleeping in a DCS office to alert people to what was happening.
They're sleeping on the floor. We don't even have blankets.
The child in state custody sleeping in an office tonight. The state has run out of space and people to take care of them.
Right now in Tennessee, some children under state protection are sleeping in offices instead of beds.
Being pulled from home, or likely they did not have a bed, right, to sleep in. They're sleeping on the couch or sleeping on the floor. And then people are making promises to them that things are going to be better, and they're still sleeping on the floor.
At 11, children forced to spend the night on the floor of state offices is raising alarm across the state. Lawmakers point to new numbers showing children awaiting a move into a foster care home having to spend more than 1,000 nights in offices.
The gentleman leading the class said, when a child is removed from their home, they come here. And I looked around this room that was far from inviting, and I thought, surely he's wrong. And so I raised my hand and I said, I'm sorry, sir, but when you mean a child comes here, what do you actually mean? And he said, a little girl slept in this room last night.
Good morning here in beautiful Sevier County. We're going to bring you a video today that is close to our hearts. It's something that we don't get to talk about a whole lot, but the name of the channel is Smoky Mountain Faith, Food, and Fun, and faith comes first. It always does with Christy and I. And so today, we're going to bring you a cause that's very near and dear to our hearts. We've got some friends who are doing amazing things for children right here in our own county. We hope you'll come along and join us, because this is Isaiah 117 House. All right, so we're inside the Isaiah 117 house, and we're here with Mallory Griffin and April Gillespie, and two lovely ladies that we've had the opportunity to speak with today, and you're going to get to know them a little bit better too. And so, ladies, first of all, welcome to the channel, and thank you for doing this.
Thanks for being here today.
So, tell us the premise and the story behind Isaiah 117 house. How did this? I know this got started here in East Tennessee. So, what was the cause of all that? What got the ball rolling on this?
You tell that story.
So April called me out of the blue one day and said she had a project for me. And she had been to a Cobb County meeting where they were going to build an Isaiah 117 house, and she wanted to know why Sevier County didn't have one. And so she called me. We went on a play date and just got to talk about it. And I told her what I think all good Christians say is, I'll go home and pray about that.
That's right.
So before I could go to bed that night, I called her back and said, we've got to have one too. Our kids here in Sevier County have one too, but I'm not doing this without you. So how do we do this together? What does this look like?
Yeah. So the founder and executive director, Rhonda Paulson, she was led to be a foster parent, and she always knew that she was led to foster and adopt. Her husband, Corey, she jokes, always knew that he would not. So we love this story. It's such a great story. It's their story. But they went through the foster care training classes, and there's around 8 of them. And on class number 6, I believe, they were at a Department of Children's Services office, and the attorney who was kind of teaching that class that night said, and a little girl slept here last night. And she said that she felt her shoulders get heavy, and she raised her hand. She said, what do you mean a little girl slept here last night? And he pointed to the corner, and he said, a little girl slept here last night as she was removed on a day she's done nothing wrong. Yeah. Rhonda said she felt her whole body get heavy, and that she felt the Lord tell her, Rhonda, these are my children. What are you going to do? And it was then that she knew she had to do something. So fast forward, she bought the book any good, sensible nonprofit starter would buy, called Nonprofits for Dummies, and never opened that book. But called her friends and said, what are we going to do? And that's exactly what Mallory and I did. But it started in Elizabethton, Tennessee. And then the next county heard, oh my goodness, this is what they're doing in Elizabethton. We need this too. We have kids sleeping in the office. So by the time it trickled down to Cobb County, and I had gone to a ribbon cutting at a business.
Okay.
Gone to the church across the street from the ribbon cutting business. Okay.
Yes.
And I heard about it, and I left really upset, and thought, Sevier County needs this also. And I'm very, very busy, so I just knew if anybody could get things done, it was Mallory. And together, that's how we exist. We told everybody who would listen to us.
Now, how long has this location been here?
That's a great question.
2 years.
2 years.
We have been open for 2 years, a
Okay.
little over 2 years.
So you took on this process during COVID.
Absolutely.
Well, okay, so the whole, we knew we wanted to do this in fall of 2019.
Okay.
We started talking to anybody who would listen, and we have had expansion meetings, and people were coming and they were on board and they were locking arms with us, walking alongside us during this journey. And then COVID happened in March of 2020. And to see this house, the land be donated, the house be erected with lumber that you and I could not get at all.
Sure.
We got discounted or for free. Concrete that you and I could not get at all, it was discounted or donated. So we knew that God's hand was all over this project.
Yes.
That was truly the only explanation. It was not a coincidence. It was Mallory and I are going to stand back and say, we're going to keep having conversations about what we can do to change the way foster care begins.
Yes.
But God's actually got this, so we're kind of off the hook here with raising money. We just get to tell a story.
Yes.
So that's been a huge blessing.
Okay. So now also we're here on what is typically called removal day.
Yes.
So explain that process now. How do they, sometimes it could be hours, sometimes it could be a lot longer. How does that work, and how do they come to you guys?
Okay. So, Child Protective Services, our CPS workers, work the removal. Sometimes law enforcement is needed in those removals. And they take the kiddo with them, and they come straight here. So there's always a caseworker with kiddos when they're here at our Isaiah 117 house.
Okay.
And we are truly just replacing that office setting. So anything that would have happened at the office, the caseworkers, the phone calls, the looking for placement, all of that's still done, but it's done from here.
Okay.
So the kids come in our back door so that there's grace and dignity, and nobody knows that they're entering our little White House that shouldn't have to be. And they come in and we eat, and we ask them, what they want, what they could need. There's a lot of trauma on that day. A lot of times kids think that this is happening because they did something.
Right.
And we're here to walk alongside them and the caseworkers and just allow the kids to know that this is something happening to them, not because of them.
Right.
And so that welcome is hard, because if you were coming to my house, I'd say, get on in here, it's so good to see you.
Yes.
But it's been a really, really hard, bad day for them. So we're not happy to see them. We're happy the house is here, but it's not a happy thing.
Right.
And so, like most Southerners, we like to eat. And so normally the first question is, what can we make you to eat?
Right.
What you
Right.
hungry for? And sometimes, most of the times, that's McDonald's.
Yeah.
A lot of McDonald's.
A lot of McDonald's.
Sometimes it's home cooking. Sometimes it's Sonic. It's lots of McDonald's. But that day, removal day, could be a few hours.
Yeah.
They could be here with us for a few hours, or it could be a few days. And then we have bedrooms here so they can stay the night and sleep. The Department of Children's Services is always here with them. If a child is present, Department of Children's Services is always present as well.
Yes.
And then there's us. There's 3 staff people that are on staff for Isaiah 117 house.
Yes.
And 35 incredible volunteers that walk alongside us.
35 volunteers. Wow.
35.
They have all been trauma trained and background checked.
Right.
Yeah.
I was going to get to that. So that's good. So you know exactly who's walking in here and who's doing what
Absolutely.
to help these kids. Okay. And see, that's so important. I know, because it is a ministry. But it's also serving. There's a legal side to all of this as well. So I understand that. So
Lots of confidentiality.
Yes.
And in our training with our volunteers, we do some de-escalation techniques, and we do some trauma-informed care. And we make it very custom, because the kids all act very differently when they walk in. Removal day looks different for every single child.
Right.
So we don't want anybody to have a preconceived idea of what it may look like, and then it look completely different.
Right. Yeah. So so the training and everything is very structured.
Yes.
but then you got to kind of go on the fly with every situation.
It really is a custom job for every single child. You may have a kid who comes in and has some needs that, you know, maybe they're taking some meds and they are just really excitable. And then you may have somebody who comes in and we call them big scary teenagers. Absolutely not. They may come in and say, we just want to play Xbox.
Okay.
And we ask, can we sit on the couch with you?
Sure.
And they may want to talk your head clean off. And they may want you to sit on that couch and be really quiet. And we're A-okay with that. So everything here is child-led. So if they want to come in and play one of our video games, that's great. If they want to cook in the kitchen, wonderful.
All right.
If they want to play our projector on the floor, we're ready to break a sweat. It's whatever they want to do. But it's not too intense where we're saying, what do you want to do? It's everything is child-led.
Gotcha.
So if they talk about loving the color purple and blue, then we're making that mental note that when it's time to shop for them upstairs in our giving room, that we're going to choose some purple and blue things for them, or we'll go shop for them for purple and blue things. But we're listening, we're gleaning all that information to make their trauma as reduced as possible.
Gotcha. Okay. I love that you say child-led, because you're not forcing them into any uncomfortable situation. You're allowing them to have their own space, have their own freedom while they're here. And well, that's great, because like I said, they get the opportunity to, and they can unload on you guys, and they have that opportunity.
And we ask, you know, do you want to take a shower? Do you have any laundry you'd like for us to launder for you just while you're here? You know, they don't know. We don't know how long they're going to be here. But we've had kiddos who want to go take a really long, scald your skin off hot shower, and that's okay.
Yeah.
Because sometimes people process trauma in a really hot shower. Scud gifted us a tankless hot water heater, so they can use as much hot water as they need to. It's been a tremendous blessing for us, but we've had kiddos really go in and do some processing and just get clean and a little de-escalated just in a simple shower, simple basic need.
Okay. So now you will cook with them, you will play video games with them. I mean, it sounds great, but now, of course, like I said, there's all these underlying issues. So what is considered a full house at Isaiah 117 house?
We would be crazy to say truly a number, because I feel like
it's probably happened.
It's probably happened, and if not, it'll happen today. That's just kind of how it works. We have 4 beds in our boys' room, so we have the beds and trundles, and we have 4 beds upstairs in the girls' room, so the beds and the trundles. We also have a couch that pulls out, and we also have the ability to put more air mattresses up and out if we needed, like a little living room sleepover party or something like that.
If we had to. We had a sibling set of 6 on one Friday night a while back, and we thought everyone's staying the night.
Yeah.
And so we were prepared to accommodate them, and we had ourselves a good time. But they ended up finding placement, which is exactly the purpose that we serve.
Right.
So while we're getting to play, those caseworkers are looking for placement, looking for open foster homes for these kiddos, or maybe a close relative. But we get to do the fun and the trauma reducing in that meantime, in that interim. But we did think we were going to get to accommodate them overnight, and we could have. But we didn't have to. So as long as we have a plan, but we could have kiddos that, let's say we have 3 teenage girls and their sisters, and they're here. We can accommodate a teenage boy who might be a cousin or not related in our visitation space on our pull-out couch, where there's a whole separate apartment almost set up over here.
Okay. And so age range, what is...
brand new up until the day before they turn 18.
Okay, all right.
And some of our Isaiah 117 houses have seen kids turn 18. Like they have turned 18 in an Isaiah 117 house.
Okay.
So at that point, they technically age out of foster care at 12:01 a.m. the day they turn 18. But we have seen brand new babies up until right before they turn 18.
And we've celebrated lots of birthdays here.
Okay, all right.
We throw a mean birthday party whenever it happens.
I bet.
To be around a birthday time.
That's
I'd like
amazing.
to talk about, we had a teen mom, and her baby turned 1 here. She was such a wonderful mom. She would go to school during the day, and after school she would come here where he had stayed during the day. And the first thing she wanted to do was hold her baby. She didn't want whatever we had in the kitchen. She didn't want to sit and watch TV or play video games. She wanted to hold her baby and give him a snack and play with him. It was so fun to watch. But when we celebrated his first birthday, our team brought gifts for her. And it was really beautiful to watch because she was very worthy of being celebrated.
Oh, I love that.
It was fun. We love that story.
Wow, that is amazing. How many? And you may not have this answer, and that's fine. But I'm just curious. Since you guys have been open here, how many would you say you've processed through the house?
This red door,
Yeah.
this back door, has opened well over 600 times in 2 years. We have accommodated a lot of kiddos.
Yeah.
And sometimes we see them again. If placement doesn't work out for whatever reason,
Sure.
we could see them again. So that number includes maybe a repeat guest.
Wow, over 600 times. We're talking 2 years. So the need is definitely, there's definitely a huge need right here in the county. But it looks so inviting when you come in because you've got snacks for the kiddos, you've got, there's toys, there's all kinds of things. Yeah, take us on a little tour of the house. Is there a most popular room in the house?
The most popular space is probably the table you're sitting at.
Okay.
And
Okay.
we had a great friend give us this table. He made this for us. His name was Dan. And we have had so much fun at this table. We've played Uno. We've flipped Monopoly boards. We have eaten. We have made concoctions. We've made slime. 1 out of 10. Okay, 1 out of 10.
1 out of 10.
We don't love slime. Anything with glitter and diamond art, and we've prayed around this table, and our guests have written us beautiful prayers and love notes, and we've read. This is the table where when a child enters and we know he's 8 years old and
Yes.
he's on his way, that we've laid out Legos.
Okay.
And the floor over there is when we hear that she's 6 years old and she's on her way, we've thrown mermaid Barbies on the floor
Okay.
in expectancy of her. But this table is really popular. You could have a caseworker here, and you could have somebody eating chicken nuggets at the other end, or someone saying, what are we going to grill later here? But I think this is one of the most popular spaces because we are able to accommodate that caseworker. Our job is to love on them too. Sometimes they get villainized, and we get to say, what snacks do you want? You need some caffeine? Looks like you've got court in the morning. You need some fresh mascara. So we get to kind of accommodate also the foster parent. So we love on Childhood and Removal Day, social worker, and that foster parent. Foster parent says yes. Hey, foster parent, what do you need? And we get to accommodate them with a brand new car seat, a brand new bed, groceries for the week if that's what they need, whatever it is to equip them to say yes in that time of their calling. But I think this is the most popular room. What's the second most popular in your opinion, or the first most popular?
I would say this table is like holy ground gathering space. But I would say the kids probably love our giving room.
Okay.
Absolutely, probably one of their favorite places to go. And it's upstairs, and it's just this huge room and stacked full of everything that they could possibly want or need. And if for some reason it's not in there, we go and buy it for them.
Okay.
And so clothing and socks and underwear and shoes and toys and bead kits and
Hair care products.
hair care, Legos. I think there's a scooter up there. I think I saw a scooter, like a kid's scooter, luggage.
Alarm clocks. It's truly everything.
Everything. And our community's done that. Like, our community has reached out and said, I felt that, we felt the Lord lead us to deodorant. And sure enough, we'll be running low on deodorant, and a church will reach out and say we did a deodorant drive, and then we have a plethora of deodorant up there in our giving room.
Gotcha.
So that's a God thing too.
Yes.
So anytime we begin to run low on something, it shows up.
Yes.
There's just not an explanation, and we don't want one other than the Lord's hand is all over this ministry.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's fun to talk about that because we told someone earlier, we don't get anyone's scraps.
Yeah.
We get people's best. People bring us their best with their time, with their talent. I don't own a Stanley Cup. I do now. Someone gave me a Stanley Cup recently. But I didn't own a Stanley Cup. I thought that's really lavish. I don't need a Stanley Cup. I drink out of a Walmart bottle. But we have Stanley Cups. Why? Because it's the best. It's the best. It's lavish. Sometimes lavish love looks like a Stanley Cup, or a Hydro Flask, or a really cool Nike sweatshirt. But our community has seen fit that we have the best. People have brought us their best, and it is just like truly. Even our toilet paper is not the toilet paper I have at home. Okay, it's the good stuff. So it's a huge blessing to be able to know that everything in this house is someone's best. It's really wonderful. We talk a lot about one of our volunteers, Pam, and she's a seamstress. She does alterations. And back when we were doing laundry for kiddos at the Department of Children's Services office before this house was standing, she took laundry. We all took turns, and she took laundry home. And she didn't just launder. She laundered, she hemmed, she patched, she repaired, and then she even lint peeled. Like, people have brought us their best talent, and the lack of getting people scraps has just been, again, totally gut bin.
I love that. So you're getting the first fruits.
Yeah, we totally are.
I like that.
But we get to share that. And something else we've learned is we can't outgive God. The more we give away, and people are like, don't you need to hold on? If we have white knuckles on anything, we've seen what happens.
Oh, yeah.
So we truly, and it's not ours. So it's not like we're giving away anything that even belongs to us.
That's right.
We're like, take this.
Yep.
One of my favorite stories I tell all the time is when Mallory was here with a kiddo and they wanted all these things, and we love that. So they wanted all these things, and the caseworker had pillows in the front seat, and we love to stand on the back porch and wave goodbye as they found placement. We like to say goodbye, and we stood on the back porch and we waved goodbye, and the caseworker had to push down the pillows in the front seat to wave goodbye to us. It was the best. So Mallory made sure that they had everything plus some. It was extremely lavish. We really loved that.
I love that. So something as simple as pillows, something as awesome as, like I said, a Nike Hydro shirt. So you guys are, that's amazing. So I do love that. That's my next question is, how can people give and how can they donate? How does that work?
The first thing that we love to ask our community to do is pray at 117 every single day. Set your alarm for 117, and every single day at 117, pray for the kids of our hometown that'll enter foster care. Pray for more foster families. Pray for the current foster families. Pray for the caseworkers. Like, how we were talking earlier, not every single person's called to be a foster parent, but as a body of believers, we are called to do something, and that starts with praying and petitioning God for help in this foster care crisis. So that's the first and foremost thing. Pray. 117 every day. Online, we're on Facebook, and it's Isaiah 117 House, Sevier County. Follow us on social media. We try to post often, if not daily, stories from the house, what's going on in here, upcoming events that you could attend. We have an Amazon wish list, and we love to keep it stocked because it's just so easy for people to order something off Amazon, and it comes right to us, and we can bring it straight to the house and put it in the giving room. And we have seen time and time and time again, something will come in, and then that day we'll get a call for a kiddo on removal day. They'll be in the giving room, and it's so cool to be like, wow, we just got that in this morning. That cup just came this morning, and the kid has picked that out to take it onto placement with them. And so even the Lord is working the timing of the Amazon orders.
Yes.
He really is. So let's see, our wish list. We also have sock buddies. It's an option to give monthly. You become a sock buddy, and you get
any amount.
Yeah, any amount. Any amount that you can give monthly. And our resource center sends you a pair of really fun Isaiah 117 house socks. Yeah. In the way of walking this journey with us. Every time you see those socks, you're thinking about, again, the kiddos that we're serving, our hometown, our community. So Sock Buddy is another great option, and have a conversation.
That's what we ask most, is that if you are in an elevator, we have to talk about the elevator speech. Start a conversation, especially with the bracelets that we have.
Yes.
Did you know that before Isaiah 117 House existed, children on a day when they've done nothing wrong are spending the night in a government office? Now, here's what it looks like instead. And in 10, 12, 15 seconds, you can explain the impact of what we're able to do here. We also have lemonade stands every July. You can do them anytime, but they're so fun. We did find out a long time ago that it is illegal to do one without a child. So your kids need to be present and in charge. Like, you have to have a special permit if you don't. So we don't want to do that. But These are child-led lemonade stands, and they're so fun, and it's an awareness event also.
Okay.
In September, we have a golf tournament. We always have sponsorships for that, but they're a lot of fun to participate in. And
had a sponsor at the last one, didn't you?
Kevin Sorbo was.
okay, so that was his golf tournament.
Yes.
That was his charity golf tournament.
Yes.
Ours is in September. But he asked, can we do this for you? But yeah, Kevin Sorbo was a lot of fun.
amazing.
He was a very generous man.
Yes.
He came and toured the house, and even Kevin Sorbo cried in our giving room. So that is true. And that's why we keep tissues up there, because it's very common. It's very impactful up there.
I love
And
that.
coming up in 2025, we will have a fundraiser lunch and dinner. And the whole purpose of that is to bring our community in to share, if they've not heard the story of what this house does, to share a few stories of what happens in the house, and then give a call to action of how they can help.
Yes.
And so April of 2025, we will have a fundraiser lunch and dinner, and
And this is something we only do every 2 years.
yep, every other year.
Every other year.
And so
okay.
we're excited about that. We had one last year, and it was wonderful. It was our first one, and it was so cool to realize people still don't know about this. We live it and breathe it, and it's our life, and
Yes.
so we think everybody should know. And so we get so excited when there's one person who says, "What is Isaiah 117 house?"
That's excellent.
And there was a time when Mallory and I didn't know anything either. We
Yes.
didn't know that children were sleeping in that office. So now we talk a lot about the curse of knowledge
Yes.
and how we just know too much to do nothing. And now, because you've sat here and talked with us today, you do too.
Yes.
So we like to talk a lot about that also.
That's excellent. That is excellent. So now, walk me through the house. When the child comes through the door, walk me through this. They're going to come through the door, and then we're going to come into the living room. Tell me about, I mean, you've got a projector in here. You've got all this.
Yeah, the floor projector actually works wonders for kiddos. You can play it with your feet, and there's over 200 games on that floor projector. So it gets wiggles out. If it happens to be raining outside, we can't be
Yes.
outside.
Yes.
We can be inside, but we play a lot of soccer on that thing.
Okay.
And the caseworkers love it too. The caseworkers will jump in there and play some games too.
Sometimes Isaiah 117 house employees
I was gonna say,
enjoy it very much also.
We
was
don't
gonna say.
mind it too much either. It's really fun. And you'll see our big couch. That's just a big lavish couch. You can just kind of relax into it, and it kind of, lower your shoulders just a little bit and take a deep breath. And you've got our kitchen, and that is where I prefer to do all of my burning of cookies.
Burning of cookies.
Yes,
Okay.
I will make lots of cookies for kiddos, but I burn them pretty often. So
What's your favorite cookie to burn?
the ones that come out of the package.
He's not lying. A core memory for the day trauma is reduced for a particular child could be the smell of
Burnt cookies.
The
Burnt
scent of burnt
cookies.
cookies.
I love
Yeah.
that.
Sensory power.
Yes, and then we have our little sensory tent behind us, as you see over here. A club came in and put that together, and the kids love that. They can just calm down. They can read in there. There's fidgets in there.
Okay.
There's little different toys that make noises, or zippers and buttons. So just to really just take a moment, and they can rock in there as well. So that's our living room, and our kitchen is fully stocked with all the snacks you could ever want.
Yes.
We pride ourselves on having snacks, and good snacks here. So snacks and drinks all over the kitchen and in the cabinets. And then as you walk down the hallway, you will see our bathroom, and that bathroom is wonderful for bubble baths.
Okay.
Lots of bubble baths, overflowing bubbles in that bathroom. And right next to it, you'll see our washer and dryer. That's actually our second set in 2 years.
Second set.
Because we do that much laundry here.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, so washer and dryer. And then downstairs, we have our skateboard room. And Miss Debbie Dady did that in honor of her son, who has passed away. And he loves skateboards. And so you'll see just a stunning skateboard room. And the kids have truly, truly loved that room and felt so safe and comforted. And we've had a few kids that have learned to skateboard here at the house. And I think it's probably because they've seen all those skateboards in there.
Wow. And then the giving room.
Yes, it's go for it. It's our favorite.
The giving room, when you walk in, it can be a little overwhelming.
Yes.
If a child is young, maybe overstimulated, it can be overwhelming. There are a couple of different reactions to the giving room. Everything in that room is brand new with tags. And we stand beside that in our entire organization for a really wonderful reason. A lot of our children, most of our guests here, have never pulled the tags off of an item. Never. lots of them have never had shoes that actually fit, or a shirt, a color that they actually wanted. They chose it. So they're shopping initially, and they're filling bags with whatever it is they want. And then our team goes behind and makes sure they have all the things that they need. Some toothbrushes, not just a pair of underwear, packs of underwear.
Yes.
Gotta have underwear. The kids aren't crazy about picking out the new underwear.
Right.
Multiple pairs of shoes. They need a Squishmallow. They might need a cool blanket from Vera Bradley because they gave it to us last week. Truly anything that they want. And that is where, our freezer is for our foster parents. So when a foster parent says, I can say yes, we can say, take this week's worth of groceries.
Okay.
Everything in there is brand new with tags. But we love the giving room, and all of those things have been generously given to us or purchased for us by our community.
Wow.
And then out there.
Upstairs, the girls' room is the girls' room.
Yes,
Okay.
It's very girly.
Very girly.
Very girly girls
Yes,
room.
very girly
Yes.
girls' room.
Yeah.
And now we've got the Outback area, or I'm going to call it the Bloomin' Onion area from now on, I'm pretty sure.
You can go Outback.
Yes. But kind of take me through that. You've got a nice play area out there and everything. Are you grilling out there? What's going on out back?
We are grilling, and we also have a pizza oven.
The pizza oven.
And so we've done a lot of homemade pizzas, and the kids can make their own pizzas and put their own toppings on and grill them up, fry them up. I don't know. I'm not gonna bake them up outside, but the kids absolutely love that. There's a jungle gym, and there's a swing. Swing sets are so therapeutic for kids.
Yeah.
Basketball, and it's all safe, and it's in a fence, and so that way, they can get out and get some wiggles out and
There's a fun
enjoy some fresh
picnic
air.
table back there where a lot of our caseworkers have gone to take the kids on picnics out back. And then lots and lots of tie-dyed t-shirts have been made there.
Yes.
So kids like to, it's a wonderful activity. It's hard to keep teenagers busy.
Yes.
So you've got to speak their currency.
Yes.
So you may not be able to get a 17-year-old to play Legos with you, or to play Uno with you, or Phase 10, or really talk trash about Minecraft and get them engaged. But you can definitely get them to tie-dye a t-shirt. Again, a custom experience for every kiddo.
I love that.
We like to spend a lot of time outside. There have been times when we've rented water slides.
Yes.
Inflatable water slides, and we have a fun time out there. Even our DCS workers get involved, and it's a fun time.
So, well, in closing today, first of all, ladies, thank you so much for sitting down with us and doing this.
Absolutely, thank you.
Isaiah 117, that specifically says that we have to defend the fatherless. And I love that verse because it really does speak to your mission here. And we have to remember that. And like I said, 117 every day, take the time to pray. Pray up about this. And also, something that we want to close with here. If they don't have an Isaiah 117 house in their area, what can we do about that?
So visit Isaiah117house.com, and there is actually a form saying, hey, I'm interested, tell me more. And it can also give you a map of where all of the Isaiah 117 houses are located. But you can fill out a form saying, I'm interested. And what they're looking for is someone from that county to spearhead and to get this process started. But Brooks, you mentioned the scripture. And we like to end sometimes with the story of, we like to keep it biblical.
Yes.
And just before Isaiah 117 is Isaiah 1:13, 14, 15. And in those scriptures, God is actually quite angry with his people.
Yes.
And you don't hear a lot about that on Sunday morning.
That's right.
So God's really angry with his people, and he said, you make me sick to my stomach. Your new moon festivals, your fancy jewelry, your fancy clothing, it makes me sick. Here's what I want from you. I want you to, and then he leads into Isaiah 117. And just after that, he says, if you do these things and obey my commands, you will have tasted the best in the land. And Mallory and I say often, we know by serving in the trenches in this ministry that we are tasting the very best in the land.
I love that. Amen to that. That is a great place for us to close. So, guys, thank you all for coming along on this tour. If you want to get involved, we're going to have all the links to everything in the description of the video. I don't know, there's no better way to close this out. So I just want to say, for Christy and Brooks, for April and Mallory here from Isaiah 117 House, we just want to say, God bless you, we love you, and we really can't wait to show you what's next.
Everyone needs a shoulder to cry on. Everyone needs a helping hand. Everyone needs someone to rely on. Yes, everyone needs a friend. So let's come together, celebrate each other, stand united as one. We lift our hands up and pray, lay all our love before Him with all of our faith. He is the change within us, there is a light. Let Him lead the way, lift our hands up and pray today. Oh, pray. Everyone needs somebody to lean